Good day, Algebra 1. This is Mr. Langston coming at you, and it is September 5th, and I'm doing this recording. My entire family's in bed right now, so that's why I'm kind of trying to keep the tone down because I got thin walls, and I don't want to wake anybody up. So I have our warm-up. We have negative 3x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 7. So what I will end up doing is, remember, I'm trying to get x by itself, so I got to get rid of what's farther away from x and on the same side of the inequality. So in this case, it's negative 2. I'm going to take and add 2 to both sides. When I do that, this minus 2 plus 2 cancels out. So I have 7 plus 2, 9. And now just bring down negative 3x. So the next thing I'm going to do is divide by negative 3. Now, as you know, as I've said a million times, when you divide both sides by a negative, the direction of the inequality switches. So instead of pointing to the right, it's now pointing to the left. And now everything's just like normal. So you have 9 divided by negative 3, which is negative 3, and these cancel right out. So you get x is less than or equal to negative 3. I have 2x minus 11 is less than 9. Same process as the first. Add 11 to both sides. So when I do that, the 11s cancel out. 9 plus 11, that's going to end up being 20. So I have 2x is less than 20. Take both sides, divide it by 2. Now, the direction of the inequality does not change. And the reason is I'm dividing both sides by a positive number. So it still stays facing the left. And now I can just cancel things out. So I have x is less than 10. For number 3, I have x plus 6 over negative 2 is less than or equal to 13. Well, the way I'm going to get rid of this negative 2 at the bottom is by multiplying by a negative 2 at the top. So when I do that, these two negatives cancel, and the direction of the inequality changes. So I have x plus 6 is greater than or equal to 13 times negative 2, which is negative 26. And now, minus 6, minus 6, it is not going to be negative 20. This means I owe $26 and then I owe $6. So in total, I owe $32. And that cancels out. So I have x is greater than or equal to negative 32. So for this one, we are going to be simplifying expressions today. Our focus standard, we're doing prerequisite skills still. We are simplifying expressions. We're going to attend to precision, which basically means we're going to be consistent and precise on what we do. And you're going to be able to communicate with one another on how to combine like terms. So without much further ado, we are jumping right into like terms. So I have two like terms, or not two like terms, two problems involving like terms. I have number 1, number 2. So this is how I combine like terms. I don't go searching for my variables or anything like that. The way I see it, I'll get to them when I get to them. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first term. It's 16. It's a number. It's all by itself. Just a number, no variable. I'm going to look for another term. That's the same idea. A number, no variable. So I have 16 and I have plus a negative 2. Well, 16 plus a negative 2, I can simplify that. that's going to end up being, in this case, 14. 16 plus a negative 2. And then I'm going to just cancel these out. I don't need them anymore. And I'm going to go to the next term. I have negative 5m. Don't forget there's a negative right there. Negative. So it's a negative 5m minus 4m. And then I have another term over here plus 2m. So all I'm going to do is take them one at a time. So negative 5m minus 4m. I owe $5. I owe $4. So in total, I owe $9. So it's negative 9m. Now it's going to be plus 2m. So I owe $9, and then I have $2. So I owe $7. So it's going to be minus 7m. Now, when you write your answer, we like to put them in alphabetical order with the variables first. So what I'm saying is this. Pardon me. Sorry, it's late. This is not your final answer. Okay? When you're going to enter your homework in the computer, it's going to be negative 7m plus 14. You're going to have your variables first, negative 7m. And the last thing you're going to have is the number without any variables. In this case, plus 14. So, right here, I have 6 minus 3z minus 2x plus negative 5 plus z minus 3z. It's going to be the same idea. I just have a number here. So why don't I search for just a number, no variable. Boom. Number, no variable. 6 plus a negative 5. Well, 6 plus a negative 5, that's going to give me the answer, in this case, of 1. And then I'm going to search for the next one. So my next term is minus, don't forget there's a minus right there, minus 3z. Let's see if I can find any more z's, 1 and 2. So minus 3z plus z. I owe $3, but I have $1. So I owe $2. So that's going to be negative 2z. Now, minus the 3z here. So I have a negative 2z minus 3z, negative 5z. And now that cancels out. And what I forgot to do is cancel out my numbers once I used them. Well, the only other term I have left is negative 2x. And I don't have another match anywhere, so I just have negative 2x. But like I told you, when you enter your homework, you want to enter it in alphabetical order. So instead, I'm going to start with my negative 2x because x comes before z. So I have minus 2x minus 5z, and the very thing I have last is my number by itself, 1. So I have this example over here. We have negative 3 times a quantity of 8x minus 30. What I'm going to end up doing is taking this negative 3 and I'm going to distribute it into both parts of this binomial. So I have negative 3 times 8x. And that's going to be negative 24x. And I have negative 3 times, don't forget, it's a minus 30. So negative 3 times a negative 30. That should give me positive 90. And for this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to distribute this negative 13 into everything that's in this parentheses. So I have negative 13 times b. That will give me negative 13b. And I have negative 13 times, don't forget, this is a minus 5. So negative 13 times a negative 5, which is going to be plus 65. And then don't forget to bring down your plus 22. And now I'm going to scan for like terms. So I have negative 13b, no like term. So just write negative 13b and go to the next one. So I'm done with that. Plus 65 plus 22. Those two are matches. So I have plus 87. Now, last one I have over here. I have 12 times the quantity of negative 2d minus 4 minus the quantity of 5 plus d. So for this one, I'm going to take and I'm going to distribute the 12 into negative 2d, and I'm also going to distribute it into negative 4. So distributing it into negative 2d, 12 times negative 2, that's going to end up being negative 24d. And then 12 times negative 4, that's going to be minus 48. Now, for this one here, I'm going to distribute, there's no number there, so it's like having a hidden 1. So I'm going to take this, and don't forget it's a negative 1, and distribute it into the binomial here. So what I have is negative 1 times 5, which is negative 5. And negative 1 times d, which is negative, and I can say 1d, that's fine, or just leave it as negative d. And now I do what I showed you previously. I start at the left and I look for a like term. I got a like term. Negative 24d minus 1d, so it's going to be negative 25d. And I look for more like terms. I'm done with those. Negative 48, negative 5. I owe $48, I owe $5. So in this case, I still owe $53. And that's it. So you got your tickets out the door. This is something for you to practice. You're going to put it into haiku. Don't forget, you're going to put it in alphabetical order. And then the number's always going to be last. So if you've got nothing else, that's it. I'm done. I hope you could hear me. I was trying to be quiet. I'm sorry. And have a good day. Peace.